Probablemente uno de los coros más conocidos en el mundo sean los Niños Cantores de Viena, fundado en 1498 y al que pertenecieron figuras tan importantes como Haydn y Schubert. Hoy estaremos hablando con un maestro que se formó en esta institución. Actualmente es su director y se siente muy honrado de caminar los mismos pasillos que Bruckner. Estamos hablando del maestro Gerald Wirth. Ensaya todos los días en el Palacio de los Niños Cantores de Viena y después se va a su casa, una granja en las afueras de la ciudad. Y es que Gerald es así, es sencillo, natural, humilde y siempre está dispuesto a compartir sus conocimientos. El maestro Wirth ha sido muy importante para el programa coral del sistema desde hace más de 10 años. Acompáñanos a ver esta conversación que tuvo Paola Otero con el director de los Niños Cantores de Viena. Soy Marilyn Viloria y esto es Entre cantos y cuentos.
So we are here now joined by Maestro Gerald Wirth. He's one of our dearest friends. He's been a friend of El Sistema for many, many years, and it's been in our country several times. And we are very happy to have you. Hi, Gerald.
Hello, I'm very happy to see you again after quite a long time.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you here. So let's talk a little bit about the younger Gerald. How do you look back at the experience of growing up as a member of the Vienna Boys Choir? And what human values did that background, you think, instill in you?
Well, I was very lucky when I was a little child. Both my parents come from fairly simple backgrounds and no musician family. But when I was a little child in the elementary school, every school in my province was asked to send boys for an audition for the Vienna Boys Choir. So I was chosen by my teacher to be sent because for my parents, like going to the Vienna Boys Choir would be something magical. They would have never dared to enter that building by themselves. So yeah, so in that sense, I was lucky to be sent, and I was taken in, which was great because it offered me a complete different world, a world of music, practicing, meeting with the most famous conductors of the time. We were very lucky to meet Leonard Bernstein, do concert with Karl Böhm, with Karajan. So all the big names of the time conducted in Vienna, of course, and for Mahler symphonies or others, we had the chance to sing with them. And also with the tours, this opened up my whole world. So it was great, not only for music, but for the entire development of my personality.
Now, we've known each other for a while now, for a few years, and I know a little bit about your history. I think it would be interesting to know how was the process for you becoming a choir conductor? Was it something that you always knew you wanted to do, or was it something that you decided to do at a point in your life, or was it something like the profession choose you, the destiny took you there? How was it?
Well, it's probably a mix of everything. When I was a young boy, I wanted to become an opera star, sing Puccini and Verdi and Mozart arias. And then after the boys' choir, I studied music, piano and oboe, but also had a chance to conduct the children's choir when I was 15 already in the church community where I lived. So yeah, choir was always a big part, not only as a singer, but also conducting very young and also in the high school choir. But I didn't really intend to become a choral conductor until I got a job offer in Vienna, because I intended to become an oboist. I practiced quite a bit of oboe in my young years. But it turned out I was asked if I wanted to have this job. So I did, okay, this was the turn of my life. So since then, I don't play oboe anymore, which is a shame, but I'm happy as a conductor.
So, two more short questions about the Vienna Boys Choirs as an institution. Could you describe the institution of the Vienna Boys Choir with 5 words, only 5? If you had to choose 5 words to describe the meaning and the importance of the Vienna voice choirs in your life, which words would be?
Meaning for me, this is difficult in 5 words. Opening my life to the world. I guess that's already 3 words. Giving me great music education and wonderful musical experience and meeting great people.
And can you tell us a little bit about the teaching methods that have been used historically in the schooling of the Vienna voice choir?
Well, it has been a little bit different when I was a boy than from the time how we do it now. When I was a boy, each province sent several hundred children to an audition, and out of those, maybe 10 or 20 were chosen to come to Vienna for the next round of auditions. So it was a little bit of a different story, and it was quite, at least I as a boy found it quite strict. Like I came into the room by myself without my parents, sang my song, did some exercises, and then we got a letter if we were chosen or not. Nowadays, it's very different. It's an interaction. We talk to the family, we talk to the boys. We want to see if they're really interested, if the children are interested themselves. We give them a trial period because it's important for them to see, and for the boy specifically to see if it's good for them. And also for us, we want to get a good feeling of the whole situation rather than only choosing on the minute of how they sing and what they can do musically.
So, next question. This is something that is very important to me and very close to my heart. As educators and musicians, what do you think is the most important principle all choir conductors should adhere to?
Well, I think there's the human aspects and there's the musical aspects, and of course both have to interact with each other. I mean, historically there are great choral conductors who I don't believe are that great human beings necessarily, but so I didn't always want to be in cooperation with them. But ideally it works together. So from the human point of view, it's of course the most basic thing what I believe is that we as choral conductor see every person, especially every child, number one, as an artist, no matter what level they are, if they're beginners or if they're very advanced professional, but we see them as human beings who do their best, who want to learn, who are eager to be there with us, and this respect they give us, we have to give to them as well. And we have to view them as individuals on the one hand, but also as a collective, as a whole. So this is our big and challenging job, of course, as choir director specifically, that we look at the choir as a whole. I mean, musically, of course, it's the blending, if they're sounding together, they're listening to each other. But in addition to that, we have to see, view, conduct, and lead every singer individual at the same time.
Now, getting in different subjects. The first time you came to Venezuela, you shared with us a musical teaching method that was developed by yourself. How does this method work, and what does it consist of? What are its theoretical and methodological foundations?
Well, there are two main aspects to it. One is what it is in terms of musical education, and the other aspect of the method is how to teach. And this is how to teach music, of course, because I'm a musician, but it could also be how to teach mathematics or geography or anything else. So in terms of what we teach, it's basically elementary music education, the basis of music theory and everything, using the instrument of the voice and developing a sense of sound, a sense of beauty, with learning the rhythms, the note reading, and everything else. So this is what we want to do. The way we want to do it is the second, maybe even more important aspect. What we want to do to teach those teachers who are interested, those conductors who are interested, to train them on focusing on the children, to see every moment of the class, every moment of the choir rehearsal, what triggers the children give as a class, as individuals, and we change our exercises, we change the way we rehearse a piece of music according to what we get from the children immediately. We don't, for example, when we do warm-up exercises, we should not have, of course we should be prepared, but I don't want to have a list which I go through from one to the last point, no matter what the children do. So I need to react always right away to the sound, to the actions of the children, how they move, and so on.
Si te ha gustado este video, recuerda compartirlo, suscribirte, ver el videito que está por aquí, darle a la campanita. Y si quieres que entrevistemos a alguien, deja la sugerencia aquí.